WandaVision is finally here, and very soon her twins will be as well. I cannot wait to go all in. I've watched both episodes 1 and 2 of WandaVision, so this is the spoiler full review for WandaVision episodes 1 and 2. You have been warned. All right, let's get to this. Now, I'm Terrell. Welcome back to my channel. And before we get started, I want to please remind you to subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video. And don't forget to ring that bell as well, all right? All right, so let's go all in. Okay, so let's talk about the Marvel intro. Now, I'm not talking about the intro to the show. I'm talking about the Marvel intro that we always see in front of every single Marvel film with the music and everything. They finally brought the music back. The dun 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 dun, all that good stuff. So all the good stuff that we've missed for like about 2 years now, I feel like, because I think for Captain Marvel and Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home, we saw the flipping of the comic book and Captain America throwing his shield, but the music was always different, or it was kind of non-existent, or it was dark. So we finally got that really like amped up like racetrack kind of superhero theme again, with a whole bunch of new graphics built into the animated Marvel Studios logo. It was really cool, so I was really happy about that. We saw clips from the Guardians of the Galaxy, Infinity War with Doctor Strange and his images of Icon, his Shiva or Kali multiple arms thing, and we saw the scene in Endgame where all the Avengers were flying through the quantum realm. All that stuff was built into the Marvel Studios logo, so I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I so appreciate it. Thank you, Marvel. Okay, so now let's go into the intro for episode 1. Now, I really liked it. I thought it was a nice classic WandaVision intro. It was so Dick Van Dyke-esque, and Wanda was so Mary Tyler Moore-esque. I really enjoyed the show. It was a nice, the song. I really enjoyed the song. It was a nice, sweet, catchy tune, and I'm still kind of playing it over and over in my brain. Now, episode 2's intro, I thought it was really cool, and I love the style of the intro, because it was a nice throwback to the days when they used to have animated intros way back in the 60s, and everything was pretty much hand-drawn back then, but it was really cool. It had a particular style to it, and Marvel, they really went there, and they paid homage to one of my favorite classic shows of all time, Bewitched. The whole intro and the whole episode of episode 2 was really an homage to Bewitched and to the Twilight Zone too. That intro was so pleasing to the eyes. It really was. It was really nice, really beautiful, and kind of made me tear up just a bit, because I thought about the legendary late great Elizabeth Montgomery, who played Samantha Stevens in Bewitched. I feel like if she were still alive, in my mind, like Kevin Feige would have called her in to do a cameo in episode 2. You know what I mean? Like Elizabeth Montgomery, she would be proud of Elizabeth Olsen, and they just would have like really had a nice. I just feel like it just would have been a really great episode. It would have been so cool to see both Elizabeths there, and both are witches on TV. I don't know. It just would have been cool. I think Elizabeth Montgomery could have played Dottie, the snooty neighbor who really wasn't a fan of Wanda. I think that would have been a nice spot, a nice role for her. But I enjoyed the performance from the woman who did play Dottie. In these 2 episodes, Paul Bettany, like all the other actors actually, to me, they really showcased their range. Now with Paul, he went from playing a version of Vision who was regal and serious and graceful, and slightly haunting, very slightly haunting, and definitely OP, overpowered, to playing a more, how can I say it, a more kind of clumsy and whimsical character, who was funny but not too funny. Paul Bettany's, this version of Vision was very much the straight man to Wanda's funny man or funny woman, and in the world of comedy, the straight man is really the character like a Ricky Ricardo who a joke starts from. It kind of launches from that person, and then the funny man or the funny woman, in the case of Lucille Ball, they are the one who kind of expands on that joke and really brings it to life. And they're the one who we laugh at, but we kind of laugh at the straight man too, because he's so like dull and straight and just kind of wooden. It's hilarious when we see him become the butt of the joke in a way. So yeah, Elizabeth, I almost said Elizabeth Montgomery, Elizabeth Olsen. I think she was incredibly charming here, in both episodes, and funny as well. Now she's not really Lucille Ball kind of funny, but still funny and cute. Elizabeth Olsen is just so beautiful, so beautiful. I loved her in this role. However, I will say that I do feel that she'd be best paired with a funnier woman, someone like Catherine Hahn's Agnes, who was amazing, by the way, very amazing. And it's kind of like how Deborah Messing's character of Grace on Will and Grace was kind of paired with Megan Mullally's character of Karen. I really felt that Karen stole and enhanced every scene that she was in Will and Grace, and Catherine Hahn does the same here in WandaVision in both episodes. To me, she was really the best character in this entire show to me. Even though I love Wanda and Vision, I just felt like Catherine Hahn just really brought it to life with her performances. She really and truly did. Her performances were so nuanced, and that's what really pulled you in and made you forget that you're watching a TV show. She was really the magic in this show, and she's not even the witch. Well, not yet anyway. So Catherine Hahn was amazing. I was so happy to see Tiana Paris in episode 2 as Geraldine. She's not Monica yet, she's just Geraldine. It was interesting that she didn't know how she got there though. Because if you remember from the trailer, Wanda was like, "Who are you?" And Monica was like, "I don't know." And so I guess she just doesn't know how she's gotten in any of these scenes. But we all know, or at least we suspect, she got there a certain kind of way. Clearly Monica was sent there to get Wanda out. At least that's what it seems like. Now, I could be wrong, but I could be right, and I think I'm right. Or at least I'm close. Now, let's talk about these commercials. I enjoyed the commercials because I felt like they fit right into both shows. Now, who knew that Stark Industries made toasters before they made arc reactors and super suits made out of iron? Who knew? And also, like, the commercial for Strucker watches, I just thought, like, wow. I kind of feel like they were kind of they could have been alluding to who might be behind this wild illusion of Wanda's. Maybe one of the Von Struckers is watching Wanda, pretty much like how a mad scientist watches over their test subject. Now, it wouldn't be the first time that Wanda was a test subject for one of the Von Struckers. Now, if you recall, the first time she was a test subject, she was a volunteer. And this time, well, might have been a little bit different. Now, along with being cute, refreshing, and a gas, as Agnes would say, I loved when this show got dark and how those moments really, really reeled me in, and it made me feel this invisible darkness that Wanda and Vision felt during all of their forgetful moments, and also at the dinner table in episode 1, and with Dottie, the nosy neighbor Dottie, and the beekeeper in episode 2. It was really, really cool. A really nice shift in tone. It was brilliant. Every time, it was brilliant. Now, if you noticed, I don't know if you did, but if you noticed, in those first 2 episodes, every single time someone questioned Wanda about where she came from, or if they confronted her about suspecting something might not be right with her and Vision, Wanda would kind of freeze in fear, and then something kind of bad would happen. Someone usually would get hurt. Now, a couple of examples of this is when we saw Mr. Hart choke in episode 1 at the dinner table after cross-examining Wanda pretty much. And then in episode 2, we saw the radio short circuit, and then the glass burst into Dottie's hand, which cut her and made her bleed, right after she confronted Wanda. and also that beekeeper with Sword's logo on his back. Now, when she saw him, she knew he was there to kind of steal her perfect world away from her. And so she wasn't having that. No, no, she wasn't. She was so like, she was so paralyzed with fear. She just like defiantly said, no. And then like time reverted back. It just like it just reverted back to the moment before she and Vision walked outside to walked outside and found the beekeeper. It reverted back to the moment where she found out she was pregnant, and well, Vision found out that she was pregnant, and then Wanda was like, everything's just gonna be fine, you know. I just love you. I don't want to ruin any of this, you know, pretty much all like, blah, you know, all lovey-dovey and mushy. She just really wanted to stay in this perfect little world, and she didn't want anything to mess it up. Now, the final scene at the end of episode 1, when the first set of end credits began to scroll on the TV, on the black and white TV screen, it was a bit unexpected what happened after that. I just totally didn't expect it, at least not in the first episode, but it happened, and I was glad that it did. Now that's when we saw a part of the real world, you know, the now anyway. You know, we kind of got pulled outside of the reality that Wanda had created, or the reality that was created for her. I don't know which one it is, but we'll find that out later. But we got pulled out of that reality, and we saw this control room pretty much. And the camera zoomed out, and we saw like this person inside of this control room. I also noticed Sword's insignia, their logo, on one of the computer screens and on the little memo pad that the person in the control room was writing in. I wonder if whatever they're doing to Wanda, maybe testing the limits of her powers or something like that, I wonder if it's gonna backfire on them, or maybe it's starting to backfire on them. And maybe that's why they sent in Monica Rambeau to try to stop Wanda or pull her out. Now, at the end of episode 2, Wanda changed the world into color, and she made out with Vision. As Jimmy Woo was saying, Wanda, Wanda, can you hear me? Who's doing this to you? You know, he was talking over a radio or walkie-talkie or something like that. It was the second time he had done that, and that was right at the tail end of episode 2. And then I think it said, stay tuned, or please stand by. It was some kind of message on the scrambled computer screen. Things are just really about to get weird from episode 3 and on. I can just feel it in my bones. I can feel it. Now, I must say that the director of photography on this show, on both episodes of this show, as well as the visual effects team and all the props team too, for doing all of the practical effects, all of them, everyone involved, you know, they really, really did their thing. I felt transported in every way. Back to the 1950s and the 1960s. Both episodes had magic and charm, and they had some real romance too. I always felt Vision's love for Wanda and hers for him. Nothing ever really subtracted that from the show, to me anyway. Paul and Lizzie have great chemistry. They really, really do. They always have. Now, as a fan and a former viewer of all the old TV shows from TV Land and Nick at Night and all that stuff, I loved these episodes so much. I really, really did. And I appreciated the extreme attention to detail in every episode. To me, episode 1 was a great mashup of The Dick Van Dyke Show, I Love Lucy, and of course, Bewitched. And in episode 2, to me, it was more like a mashup of just Bewitched and The Twilight Zone, with that beekeeper and also with the strange colorized toy helicopter that, with Sword's logo on it that Wanda found in the bushes. Those little yet significant moments are helping to build up toward whatever or whomever the big baddie is in the series, and I'm here for it. Now, I just love the idea of working these classic TV Land sitcoms and shows into the bigger plot, to whatever it is. It's genius. It's absolutely genius. Big swings like this show, pretty much, are kind of what helps set Marvel far apart and far ahead of everyone else, in my opinion. All y'all know who I'm talking about. WandaVision, to me, all in all, is very creative, unique, compelling, entertaining on so many levels, and I really can't wait to see what they do next. I really can't wait to see what this all leads to. All right, so that's my time. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm so excited for this. So excited for this. And then Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Wanda is finally getting her moment. And I'm so happy for her and so happy for Elizabeth Olsen. All right, so now you can follow me on Instagram if you like at creative_Klaus. And if you like this video, make sure you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can get notifications, and make sure you ring that bell too so that you can get those notifications whenever I post a new video. All right, now always remember to fly high and fly free. Be you, because everyone else is taken. All right, on that note, you can check out another video from me right now, and zoom, zap, bam.